Hello, my name is Sadie. Welcome back to my channel, YinReikiLight. And today I wanted to come on and do a energy reading, oracle card reading for the week ahead for us. I'm going to use the Sacred Destiny deck by Denise, Linn. This week is going to be an interesting week. The energy is very interesting. So we currently are in the middle of Cancer season. We have a Cancer new moon July 9th / July 10th, depending on where you are in the world. So it's going to be happening either for you on Friday or Saturday. But currently the moon is in Gemini, and whenever the moon's in Gemini, it really gives us an opportunity to acquire higher knowledge, so wisdom. And they keep showing me the image of the Hanged Man, but specifically this area around his head that is illuminated. And so right now is a great time to really be in a learning mode, to acquire new knowledge, to acquire new skills. If you're studying something or wanting to study something, this is the perfect time to start. Because your ability to not just understand, but to assimilate and to use what you learn during this period is going to be very beneficial for you. So some may be starting like new jobs or new responsibilities and new sort of projects at their current job. Some of you just may feel more drawn to reading and learning and, maybe even taking, learning a language or listening to some sort of audiobook or doing a new meditation program or visualization program. Whatever you feel emotionally sort of drawn to right now in terms of intellectual pursuits, learning, healing modalities, reading about certain texts, reading about certain ancient texts. Oh, there's a spider. Let me grab him. Okay. Whenever you are around trees, that is kind of the only thing is that there's like the spiders and bugs in nature. But he didn't bite, so that's good. And he's crawling around the ground, so that's good. So back to what I was saying, it's very, very cerebral time to really tap into your higher mind, your higher wisdom. And the thing about the Hanged Man, they keep bringing up Odin. Odin was is the Viking god of war and wisdom. And Odin sacrificed his eye so that he could have all the wisdom and knowledge, of all the mysteries of life and death and beyond. And so this week, because there is a lot of competing energies, conflicting energies, a lot of oppositions in the cosmos, you may be brought into a space where you're needing to sacrifice something small to acquire something much larger, letting go of aspects of the ego and the personality and the small self to awaken and embody your higher self and to see things in your life from a different perspective. So there may be opportunities for that for you this week. And oftentimes these opportunities come in the guise of a challenge, a conflict, a crisis. But sometimes they're just epiphanies too. Sometimes they're just these aha moments where we've been struggling with a certain issue for a while, and then we've emotionally come to the point of not allowing the emotion of the situation to control us, and then we allow the mind to actually show us the bigger picture. It's like the light bulb goes off. So you could have some light bulb moments this week too. So like I said, right now the moon is in Gemini. Gemini is also obviously the sign of the Lovers card, the sign of the twins. So there could be, for some of you, communication with your twin this week that triggers you. There could be, for some of you, more telepathy and more sort of feeling into your twin's emotions, especially because after the moon leaves Gemini, it goes into Cancer. So the moon is going to be in its own sign this week. Very, very powerful and potent new moon that's coming up towards the end of this week, because you have both the sun and the moon in Cancer, so the energy is going to be amplified. But during this period before the new moon, we're actually in that dark moon period where there's a lot sort of bubbling underneath the surface. And so kind of the advice this week was just to use your mind in a way where you're taking control of your emotional state and trying to see things from a much broader perspective. So not seeing from the ego, but seeing from the higher self, seeing from the larger aspect of you, tapping into larger and deeper, higher states of consciousness. That is going to be an energy that is going to be very sort of something that we all are going to have to contend with this week. But this new moon is going to be very, very powerful because it's going to be a new start in relationships, I'm being told. You know, different ways of how you relate to others, different aspects of how you go about being in your relationships. This is going to be friendships. This is going to be love. This is going to be romance. This is going to be even with your family, where maybe you felt disempowered in the past. You're going to be empowered to be more of yourself, to be more of your authentic self, and to speak your truth and to speak your heart. And even if that triggers others or bothers them, it's important for you to do that, because once you do, you'll sort of be in your power, and people will know that they cannot take advantage of you. They cannot manipulate you or guilt you into doing and being who they want you to be. And as you take more steps of empowerment, you actually sort of will begin to heal even more. So it's a very healing week. It's a very healing time, but there is going to be a big shift and change in the relationships. And so this is going to be very positive for many of us, especially where we felt like we couldn't really say what we wanted to say to certain people, or we felt like, you know, certain people didn't really understand us or value us. As we begin to value ourselves more and stand more in our power, we're going to receive that back. And so that could be some relationships just decide that, you know, they've run their course. It could be, though, the strengthening of bonds with certain people in your life that you may feel like don't really understand you or don't really see you for who you are, because you're going to see yourself and the situation in a relationship differently. You're going to change your perspective. You changing your perspective will change your responses and reactions to them, and will change your behavior towards them, which will change the relationship structure and foundation itself. And so don't be afraid. That's what I'm being told, really, 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 is like, don't be afraid to speak your heart this week. That could be to your boss, that could be to your partner, that could be you reaching out to your divine counterpart and just speaking your heart. But don't be afraid to do it. And right now, with all the energy that's around, and especially as we get towards the end of the week with the Cancer new moon, you're going to want to do things in a new way, because you're realizing that the way you've done things is not working for you. And that's a really, really beautiful and empowered and enlightened perspective to have and to live. And so, okay. This protection just flew right out, so we'll use that. Let me, higher self, Holy Spirit, Source Creator, we connect with you now and ask for the wisdom and the guidance to stay in our higher mind and embody and awaken our highest consciousness during this week ahead. What messages and guidance do you have for us now? Thank you. All right, so protection flew out. So for those who are feeling very vulnerable right now, know that you are like this tree. You are steady. No matter what is going on around you, you are held, you are protected. For some of you, this is a message that you need to ground your energy. I did a quick video, I believe it was back in March, of how to ground yourself easily. That's a very, very easy grounding technique. You don't have to use it. Use what resonates with you, but maybe go on YouTube or search on Google and look up grounding meditations, grounding exercises. Also, ways to ground your energy is to be outside in nature. But just be careful of all the spiders and the insects and stuff. To hug a tree or to sit next to a tree. To walk barefoot on the grass or the sand. I'm trying to think other ways that you can ground your energy. Gardening is very, very grounding, because you're digging and you're planting. Even just like going for a swim, if you can go for a swim, is very, very grounding, very healing. So for those who are feeling vulnerable, ground your energy, but just know that you are divinely protected at all time, and there's really nothing to worry about. All right, let's see what else comes up for us this week. Okay, so other cards that came up were diligence. For what I'm getting with this one, it's just continue to stay in your higher vibration. Sometimes it takes a lot of diligence and self-discipline to not get pulled into drama, to not get pulled into negativity. And so this week, because there's a lot going on, there's a lot in the cosmos, really stay in that higher mind, in your higher self, in your higher perspective. That's probably why this week I'm being guided and to tell you that, learning and studying is really going to be very helpful for a lot of people. Even reading, even if you just want to pick up a book and read something, because it's going to take your mind away from any sort of distraction, energy, any sort of negativity that may be in your environment. And it'll help you stay grounded, protected, but it'll also help you be diligent and stay sort of above the fray. You see this bird, it's like flying high above the clouds, above the land. So that is very, very important this week. Again, security is coming up. So for those who aren't feeling secure right now, I really suggest not just doing the grounding, but doing the root chakra, doing some root chakra work to feel more stable and secure. Also, one way that you can keep yourself secure is to stay in environments where, you're not around a lot of people, to stay in environments where you can naturally sort of protect your energy better. So, staying away from large crowds, being away from people who are like in a really, really competitive energy, because a lot of times that brings out a lot of anger. Staying away from like bars and clubs where there's a lot of drugs and alcohol. I'm not saying that, don't have fun. I'm just saying, right now, if you really want to protect your energy and you're feeling not so secure in your environment, that you may not want to be around large groups of people who are drinking and partying, just because, spirit is transferable. The energy can transfer. And so because everything is energy, when we're in those environments, we're more susceptible to lower vibrational energy. What's really interesting about this is it's like kind of like a cave, and there's a fire there. And so this may be for some just like staying home, staying in your cave, staying in your sacred space, staying in your sanctuary. Again, you are safe and protected, but this week, if you feel like you need to have more protection, definitely call in Archangel Michael. You can say something as simple as, Archangel Michael, I just pray for your protection around me and throughout my day. It can be that simple. That's all you have to do. And Archangel Michael will be there and to protect you and surround you with his healing light. Trust. Trust that you are protected. Trust that you are guided, regardless of what situations may arise, regardless of the energy that's around you. Trust that everything is happening for you and not to you, and that you are growing and learning as you go through certain experiences. It is shifting your perspective. And so remember that your perspective is your reality. So if you're in a space where you're feeling victimized, you're feeling downtrodden, that is going to be your reality. That is going to be what you see, because we're conscious creators. We're creating as we go, as we live, as we do things. We're constantly creating what our environment is. But if you believe and trust in your security, trust that you're protected no matter what, stay diligent to stay above the drama in the fray and whatever else may come at you this week. As you trust, you'll feel this sense of peace, this sense of serenity. You'll feel like you are supported and protected, and you'll see it in your external reality. Okay? Community. You're not alone. We're never alone. Even if we feel like we're alone, even if we feel like nobody understands us or sees us, we are seen. There are many of us on this ascension path who are going through the same things, or going through similar things, or have been going through and have been where you are currently at. And so reach out for help, reach out for support, reach out if you just need someone to talk to, reach out to someone that you trust. But really, there's strength in numbers. There's strength in feeling supported and loved, and a lot of times that brings in a lot of healing as well. And so just hold on to what gives you a sense of community right now, because it's going to be very healing for you this week. The card at the bottom of the deck is Healing Chaos, and so this is the period of time that we are all in. There's a lot of healing, but it's chaotic. I love how it's both these community and the Healing Chaos card both have butterflies. So we're all going through this transformation. We're all ascending to something higher, to embody the greater parts of ourselves, but having to sacrifice and having to let go of lower aspects of ourselves, sometimes feeling stuck, sometimes feeling senses of loss for things that for things that have sort of been taken away from us. or things that we've had to let go. But as we do this, we're transforming into these beautiful butterflies. And the butterflies are not in the chaos. It's very, very important to see and recognize as well. They're around the tornado, but they're not in it. So, you know, we on this ascension path, we're in our 3D world. We're in our 3D lives, but we're not of it. We're in the world, but not of it. And that's important to remember, to be in the world, but not of it. Know that you are so much greater than your flesh and your personality and all the sort of limitations and all the labels that society puts on us as people, as women, as men, as whatever race we are, as whatever culture we are. You know, you are so much more than that. You are a spark of God. You embody the light. You embody everything. And so don't let the chaos of what may be going around you right now keep you from recognizing the beauty that you are and the power that you're becoming. All right. Really, that's all that wanted to come through. It is going to be an interesting week. There's a lot of energy. It's like this. It's like this tornado. Some of you may be going through a storm. I'm in Florida right now. Parts of my area are in this like tropical storm watch. So, you know, again, if you're in an area where, you know, there's bad weather, because I'm looking at these cards too with the tornado, with the lightning. Some of us may have some really bad weather this week. And so just, you know, listen to your instincts, listen to your heart, stay in a space that feels safe and comfortable for you. And just, you know, pay attention to your instincts. If you need to go to the store and get more water or get, you know, a supply of food that's not perishable for a couple days, go do that. Get some batteries, get some, you know, candles, do whatever you need to do to kind of make yourself feel safer right now. But also don't focus on so much of everything that's going outside of there. Keep your focus on your higher self, your higher mind, wisdom, learning and seeing things from a different perspective. Okay. So that was the energy that wanted to come through. Like I said, it's going to be an interesting week, but after the new moon comes, the energy is going to lighten up again because it's a new moon cycle. So where the moon goes dark before the new moon, and then it turns light again and things start to be illuminated again. So just this week, you know, ground your energy, protect your energy, call on Archangel Michael if you need the help and support. You always have spiritual support and help around you. But after the new moon, things are going to lighten up quite a bit. Next week's energy is a lot lighter than it's going to be this week. Okay. So I hope everyone has a beautiful week. I will be back on later on this week with some more messages and readings, and I hope everyone has a lovely day. Take care.